And welcome back to the show. You know, summer camp is such a wonderful experience. It was for me. It's an opportunity for growth outside the confines of schooling. It is a schooling in its own natural way, but for some, economic factors in their lifetime get in the way of that experience. That can change. You can help youngsters on May the 3rd by participating in a wonderful event. And welcoming today to the show from the House of Friendship, we have Dawn Gill, the Development Officer, and Martin Burr, who's the former Executive Director for the House of Friendship, talking about the Trek for Kids. Well, thank you both for being here.
Good to be here.
I would just love to know out of the gate, if we could, Dawn, first of all, did you go to camp in any form?
I went to camp like once and then done camping different times, but I spent most of my camping experience as a volunteer at camp for about 8 years.
But that still in and of itself can be learning.
Absolutely.
For the counselors and for the children as well.
You got
How about
it.
for yourself, Martin?
Right. I began with being a camp counselor in my late teens. Got very turned on by camps.
What was the camp?
Oh, Assiniboine Mennonite Camp outside Winnipeg.
Excellent.
I'm a Manitoba boy.
And you remember the camp songs probably. That's always something that sticks in the head, right?
I remember the playground,
The playground.
at all the athletics going on. But all of my kids, all three of them went to Silver Lake Mennonite Camp, and my 5 grandchildren are all going.
You know, and I've talked about it before. For me, it was Camp Manitomono and Georgian Bay and whatever the camp was that you went to. At first, maybe you go, you're young, you're nervous, you don't know why, but then you forge friendships. You do a lot of learning outside of the type of learning you do in school, don't you? Growing as a person.
Absolutely, absolutely. I find that kids, they're challenged to take healthy risks and reach outside of themselves, and they have so many opportunities to try new things, learn new things, meet new people, that it really stretches kids in a positive way.
Right. It's problem solving within their own little group, but at the same time, there's so much fun and friendship that comes out of it too. However, for some children, Martin, it's just economically not a reality for families.
Exactly. And often they go with great trepidation. They've never been away from home. And I remember in particular the first few years at House of Friendship, the vans would be loaded up with crying kids.
Yeah.
Because they were very trepidatious about
To
the
go.
unknown, yes.
Yes.
To leave the city limits. And then a week later, a van full of crying kids again, because they were sad to leave the
To
camp.
leave it, yeah.
And the new friendships that have been formed.
That was me. I remember my
Yeah.
dad taking me to drop me off at the bus, and I didn't know anyone. And so the first guy that I met, I said, I'll sit with you on the bus. I was just so anxious to know that I knew the person beside me on the bus. Fast forward to many years later, and those experiences I count among the best of my life.
Yeah.
Such a growing thing. But just like we've talked about on this show many times, organized sports can be expensive. A summer camp has a charge associated with it, and this is where the Trek for Kids is going to help.
Absolutely. Right now, just with rising costs and other factors, it's almost $600 to send a kid to camp. And it
Okay.
seems like a lot, but it's the different camp costs, and as well, House of Friendship, our summer camp sponsorship program, helps kids with the purchase of a sleeping bag or flashlight or things that are essential to make that camp experience positive.
You know, that's a really good point. I wasn't even thinking about the items beyond paying for the camp itself,
Yep.
Martin, that a child needs when they're going away, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
All the outfitting that has to be done.
Yeah.
So you don't feel like you're standing out by not being properly equipped.
Mom has to sew my
Yeah.
name in my underwear.
Yes.
Those kind of things.
Yeah.
It's not the elephant in the room, but it is the best dressed person on the set right now. Who is this gentleman?
This is Joe Kramer, and he is the first director of the founding director of House of Friendship. This year is our 75th year of service, and Joseph Kramer was elected by the committee around him at the time and started House of Friendship in 1939.
And for those that aren't familiar, why don't you tell us what House of Friendship is all about?
Well, House of Friendship, we serve the community. We focus on people that are living on low income, and we help with healthy lives. We build strong communities, strong families. We provide emergency food assistance, and we're building and growing all the time.
Because am I right to say, Martin, that if you don't have the things that you need just to get through day to day, the food, the shelter, you can't enjoy the other amenities in a community. You can't be as involved in culture.
Yes, exactly.
Because you're just too worried about where's the next meal coming from.
Yes, so this is a whole broadening experience. I was just going to mention, I'm also 75 years, like House of
Oh, are you
Friendship is.
really?
That's my 75th project
Would
this
you like
year.
to be made out of cardboard? Yeah.
No, I'll be on the bike.
I
Very
hope you're not this
pliable.
stiff. Yeah, no, you will be.
Yes, and I'll be riding the full distance with my family. Team Bureau has been trying to raise $75,000 by the end of this year since we started riding. We're at 55 from previous years, have 20,000 to raise
That
this
is
year.
wonderful. We actually have a foot. We don't need to zoom in on it, but I see you're right here on the
Yes.
newsletter, the pledge form right
Yes,
now.
right.
That's right.
And it's good you brought a pledge form because this is the thing. When there's an event coming, some people think, well, I don't have to think about it for weeks.
Yes.
No, you have to think about it early to
Right.
get pledges, right?
Yes.
Absolutely.
So what's the call to action? What do people need to do now?
What we're asking people to do is go to houseoffriendship.org. That's our website.
Okay.
And you can go special events, Trek for Kids, and you can sign up right there. If you want to pledge to Martin to contribute to his overall total and his milestone year, you can find his picture and click My Pledge at the bottom, and you can help us out and send kids to camp.
You are a wonderful example of someone who has taken activity, and look how energetic you are, and look how enthusiastic you are.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Right? I mean,
Yes,
you're not letting
right.
age get in the way of enjoyment and giving back.
Thing is, I can still do it,
Yeah.
so therefore I want to do it.
And that's a wonderful thing.
Yeah.
And no matter what somebody's ability, they can still participate. That doesn't matter. It's taking advantage of a wonderful Iron Horse Trail that we
Yes.
have here locally. Used to be the railway line, but now it's a wonderful trail, right?
That's right. And our trek is starting at 50 Kent Street. We're partnering with the Mennonite Central Committee and Thrift on Kent. So that's where the Iron Horse Trail goes right by there, and we're starting there. And people can do a variety of distances depending on their
their ability,
Yeah,
sure.
so it's very family friendly, and you can go as far as 23K or as little as 3 or 5.
You know, one thing about the House of Friendship is you're all about being inclusive, and yet you have stickers and I don't. But I guess that's just something I'm going to have to live with. Is that something?
I don't
no,
think-
no.
Oh, you brought one, he says, as though he was
Okay.
prompting
Can
them
I-
to do something they had planned.
There we go.
Ah, there we go.
We need you as our champion.
I feel as a champion, that'd be a first in life. It's all about allowing children to experience summer camp. I can only imagine, and as you said, well, you said it best, the tears on the day when you go and you don't know what's going to happen,
Right.
and then the tears when you have to say goodbye. But friendships that are forged for life.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Between campers and counselors
Right.
too. All right, the Trek for Kids, once again, the first thing you need to know to do is to get to the website that you see on your screen, but also show up on the day. No matter what your ability, come on out
Absolutely.
with like-minded people
Absolutely.
and experience a wonderful event. Well, congratulations to House of Friendship on the milestone.
Thank you.
Congratulations
Thank
to you on your
you.
milestone
Thank you,
and your
Mark.
fundraising effort too.
Right.
It's Trek for Kids, helping children in our own area experience the wonderful thing that is summer camp. And maybe you can get a sticker like me. This is staying on. I mean it.
Yeah.
We are heading into the kitchen. He's one of my favorite people. No, he couldn't make it? Okay. Chef D will be here. No, I kid. I kid because I love. Susan is with Chef D in just a moment.